Time for business news now on the programme. We're starting with a 24 corporate alliance that's getting a bit of an overhaul. It's the partnership between the French and Japanese car makers Renault and Nissan, of course. Charles Pellegrin is here from our business desk. Charles.
That's right, Stuart. A 24-year-old corporate alliance. The two groups have just unveiled the new agreement that's supposed to reboot that partnership. This is the result of months of tough negotiation with both boards giving their seal of approval in the past 24 hours. Now, the alliance, which in 2017 was the biggest car manufacturer in the world, has been in search of a new direction since the high-profile 2018 downfall of former CEO Carlos Ghosn. Nissan had long been unhappy with what it perceived to be an unbalanced partnership, with Renault owning a 43.4% stake in Nissan, while the Japanese group owned a 15% stake of its French counterpart. Well, the new terms, which are valid for 15 years to begin with, puts both of them on equal footing, with a 15% ownership of each other, with the rest being, quote, public float, meaning shares that are held by public investors on the stock market, with the exception that the French state has a 15% stake in Renault, a cause of friction with Nissan in the past. Renault will not immediately sell the 28.4% stake it has in Nissan, though instead putting it in a trust. Nissan has also stated it aims to become a strategic investor in Renault's electric vehicle unit, Ampere, committing to buy a stake of up to 15%. Mitsubishi, a third junior partner in the alliance, has also said it will consider investing in the unit. Well, let's take a look at how the European stock markets have opened this Monday, kicking off the week in negative territory as investors digest a slew of data. As you can see, the Paris CAC down 0.8%, the DAX in Frankfurt down 0.75%, and the FTSE in London down 0.5%. The Asian stock markets getting cold feet after the U.S. jobs report from Friday. The stronger than expected performance, raising fears the Federal Reserve could tighten monetary policy even further in order to keep a lid on inflation. Stocks mostly trading lower, as you can see, the Hang Seng in Hong Kong down below 2%, except for the Nikkei in Tokyo up 0.2%, closing the session up over 2% for Nissan as well, actually, on the Nikkei in Tokyo. Another factor weighing on investors in Asia is the Chinese spy balloon incident and what that could mean for relations between the world's two biggest economies going forward. Take a listen to Stephen Innes from SBI Asset Management.
It was crazy what happened out there over the weekend, but let's look at it besides the spectacle factor. I think the U.S. is locked in a technology war with China, and I think where the area that's going to affect it the most is possibly an escalation of tech war, and that's a problem that we're looking at right now. We're seeing that play out on the Asian tech-sensitive sectors like the Hong Kong index. Tech area, and that's pretty much the theme of the day that we're starting off with today. Balloons popping, the bubble pops in China for a little bit.
In Japan, the government has denied a report saying it had approached the deputy governor of the Bank of Japan, Masayoshi Amamiya, to become the central bank's next chair. The identity of the person who will replace the current governor, Haruhiko Kuroda, would end months of speculation over who will be at the helm of the institution as it moves away from its monetary easing policy that stands out as an exception in a high inflation environment, including in Japan, where it hit a 41-year high of 4%. And over the weekend, Elon Musk was found not guilty of fraud over a 2018 tweet that assured he had secured funding to take his electric vehicle company Tesla private. This led to a rally of Tesla stock on the expectation of a buyout, which never materialized. Investors sued him, saying they incurred $12 billion in losses. Cami Knight has more.
Only around 2 hours of deliberation that led to a unanimous verdict. A San Francisco jury sided with Elon Musk, finding him not guilty of misleading the public on taking Tesla private.
Thank goodness the wisdom of the people has prevailed. I am deeply appreciative of the jury's unanimous finding of innocence in the Tesla 420 take-private case.
It all started with tweets from August 2018 where Musk declared he had funding secured to take Tesla private and that the deal was imminent. The stock price soared after the tweets, before falling 10 days later after it became clear the buyout was not happening. Tesla shareholders claimed Musk misled them and sought billions of dollars in damages.
We're disappointed. We're examining options.
Yeah, we're considering what we're doing next. Obviously, it's very disappointing.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Musk's lawyer argued that though the tweet was technically inaccurate, investors only cared that Musk was considering a buyout. Musk himself also spent almost 9 hours on the witness stand, telling jurors he believed the tweets were truthful, saying he had a verbal commitment for funding which later fell through. Tesla shares rose 1.6% in after-hours trading after the verdict was announced. And it's not Musk's first victory in court, but this latest case was seen as a test of whether or not Musk could be found guilty over his unrestrained use of Twitter, and could serve as a roadmap for companies facing accusations over statements made on social media.
Not the end of Elon Musk's legal troubles, and we don't know whether the defendants here are going to appeal or not.
We shall see. Charles, thank you very much. Charles Pellegrin with the business news for you here on France 24.